Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're in for a split jerk session today for reasons that I can't disclose. Honestly, how stupid is the world of strongman? But split jerks nonetheless. I'll take a look at what load we're using, but it's, I believe it's 3 singles at RP of 8. I got some strict pressing afterwards, but the bulk of the session is going to be related to some big split jerks. Now, I've had a very encouraging technical improvement to get my lockout strength, or lockout stability, I should say, better. When I step through, I tend to have particularly my left elbow unlocked quite a bit, and I think I've rectified that. So we're going to find out today. I anticipate it's really hard RP on a power movement, but I anticipate will be somewhere in the range of 480 to 500 pounds. This is what I would like to be sort of just like a very casual, quote unquote, opener by the time that World's Strongest Man comes around. I'm going to stop pretending. Obviously, this is in World's Strongest Man. Literally everyone is doing it. What do you want me to say? How is the chat? How is everyone doing? Are people checking in? Say hello. As you pop in, go ahead and like the video. Let's get this pushed out to some new people, and they can join the community.
Everyone's saying hello.
Hello, hello.
And then B-Dog says, the title says heavy, so we need heavy.
It's going to be heavier than you can go unless you're a competent Olympic weightlifter. We just put out on Instagram, we're having another baby girl. So very, very excited for that. And I got to get extra strong because now I'm going to have to beat the shit out of 2 different boyfriends in 15 years' time. Oh. Oh, I hate mobility so much. And you guys know my opinion is that it should be used very sparingly and only when necessary to achieve the requisite range of motion. But with split jerks, back racking, it's one of those times that it is unfortunately appropriate. And I say unfortunately because it is so boring. I got into this sport to see what it was like to get really strong and to lift big weight, not to rub my body against posts in preparation. Very annoying. Oh, goodness gracious.
We have a question here. Did you see ESM? Really good comp between Matthias, Patty, and Luke.
Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing. I was really impressed with the quality of Giants live stream. There were some issues at Britain's Strongest Man that were clearly rectified, so good on Giants for that. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Giants and what they're doing. I don't know where the sport would be without them. Them and Rogue, basically. That is the entire sport of strongman on a professional level. Eliminate that, and all you have is Strongest Man on Earth and World's Strongest Man. So it's really nice to have people doing good things. But the show was awesome. I thought it was super competitive, super intriguing. Massive shout out to Luke, of course. Luke Richardson winning Europe's Strongest Man. So happy for him. Like, talking about a guy who's been through a lot and someone who deserves it. And just a good person. Have you guys ever seen myself associating with someone? It has absolutely nothing to do with how strong they are, even though Luke is incredibly strong. It's mostly just like good people, good to hang around, good values. So really happy for Luke. And he's had to deal with so many naysayers and detractors and perseverance and surgeries. And it was good. Hopefully, Andre Fortu gets his invite to World's Strongest Man because he was well good enough. Just that last stone. Like, I love watching these shows, and I wonder if other people watch it the same way I do. Because I can watch and know this has to happen for this to happen. very quickly. So I knew Andre, when he was going, it was as cut and dry as load 5 stones, make world's strongest man. And he loaded 4.5 stones, for lack of better description. So I hope he gets an invite. He deserves it for sure. He's a great athlete. Patty, unbelievable. I have no reservation in saying I did not see that coming. Although in retrospect, they were really good events for him. But he had a world record shield carry. I didn't see that coming. His deadlift is good. I knew that was going to be a thing. His stones are good. I knew that was going to be a thing. But yeah, decent results in the overhead. If Patty can get his overhead sorted, he will be very good at certain shows. I don't give blanket praise to anyone. So where I think Patty would struggle is like a strongest man on earth, an Arnold, something that's just focused on being very heavy. But he is definition of strength athlete. Couple that with a good grip, and you can do really, really well for quite a long time. All right. So technical change. I had my hands out here for all of Arnold's prep. I am now putting my hands in here. And if I can get my mobility right, the lockout position is just so stacked and smooth. And the more mobile I get, the closer I can bring my hands. Because the thing is, I don't have a problem popping big weight overhead. I have a problem catching it. And so if I can catch it much more stable, we are off to the races. So without further ado, yeah, see right now I feel my shoulders a bit stiff in here. So I would like that to be freed up by the time I get to my top set. Easy work.
So Andrew commented on Patty's 90 meter with the shield. He's asking, could you beat that?
Yes, I could. That shield is not 200 kilos, for one. I know that. But for context, at Worlds, when I did crab walk, that shield was 25 pounds heavier, and I took it for 70 meters. That was, it might have been 67, something like that. And that was outdoors in the rain. So you take 25 pounds off. Could I go another 20 meters? I believe so. If the mark was set, I believe so. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I believe I could. Do you think I could?
Yeah.
Obviously. If you had to pick, as someone who doesn't really know too much about strongman yet, if you had to pick my worst event, what would it be?
Worst event?
Yeah, if you were like, oh, yeah, but just guess.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what the worst one would be.
Ash.
Because anything movement-wise, quick.
Yeah.
Then you're strong.
Uh-huh.
So deadlift.
That's the goal.
Stuff.
That is the goal.
Oh, I knew that. But I mean, you know what I mean?
Ash, if you had to pick my worst event, what would it be? If you had to pick my worst events, what would it be?
I want to say like something with just the opportunity to like mess up, like trip or fall or something, like a.
You think I'm clumsy?
Like the sandbag. Like the first thing that comes to mind is when you fell with the sandbags.
Fell backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a chance that something like that could happen.
She said a chance that something could go wrong. Yeah, I guess that's sort of with everyone.
Yeah, but it's like, that's what I mean, like there's an event that you're actually bad at.
It would be if there was like a grip event, like a blob, a Thomas Inch dumbbell. If it was pure grip, I would have to train that really hard.
I think it's done. So,
You think I'd still win?
yeah.
Mhm.
I certainly would not, but I would hold my own. All right, I'm just going to stick at this weight until I feel like it's totally freed up. And that's it there. That feels good. We'll see what the split feels like. Perfect. Oh my God. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Do you know that meme?
The meme?
Yeah.
No.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
No, I don't know it.
Ash, what's perfect, perfect, perfect? What's that from? Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Maybe it's from a kid show, Miss Rachel.
No, it's a kid.
Uh-huh.
It's a kid. Like on an interview or something. Side note, we're watching Love on the Spectrum at the moment. And if Tanner from Love on the Spectrum isn't your favorite human being on the planet, I hate you. I don't care if you have kids or parents that you love. Tanner's the most precious person on the planet. Especially that video of him meeting Jack Black. That is the best thing ever. It's very small. I don't know if you guys can see it, but at this weight, even the fact that there's absolutely nothing giving at all on my arms, amazing, absolutely amazing. There's a few things I need to correct still. Biggest one is I tend to split my front leg forward and my right leg to the side, my back leg to the side, and I end up right under the bar. So my left arm often takes more load. So I want to try to split that away. I also endeavor to tie up my back shoe at some stage during this session. My back foot slipped out of the shoe right on cue.
So we have a super chat here from the Slack 66. Assuming there's a Titans turntable push, how are you preparing for that? There seems to be both techniques and strength involved.
There is not. What was that? I will not be preparing for that. But honestly, if I were, I would just like push my Humvee up a hill, stuff like that. Less technique than you'd imagine. And one of the things that I find that I'm quite good at compared to other people is in the moment, I can push. So say in the wheel of pain, I can push and within 2 or 3 seconds, change my position slightly on the push and just feel like this is what's going to get it done for me today. So I don't need a whole lot of practice and iterations. Also, good news. You'll notice I have no knee support on today. That has been totally fine. 100% fine. So big win on that. I'm drinking rainbow sherbet today. I find this one, this is like the standard flavor for me. Everything else is a variation of this, I find. What's your favorite?
I think that one or the sour worm.
Sour
one.
gummy one?
Yeah.
Have you tried white haze?
Yeah.
White haze is awesome.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Not a fan?
It's not my favorite.
You don't have to
It's
love
good.
them all. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's not my favorite.
It's
that
okay.
one and the orange. Some people love the orange. Orange is not my favorite. but like I think that's Quinn's favorite, right? So
Orange? Yeah. Ashley's all salty because she's pregnant. Pregnant women are so grouchy.
Okay, this one's from Adam. Love these live workouts, especially the days I can get in a workout at the same time. Are you now using red light therapy? And if so, for how long and every day or no? Thanks.
Well, that's a really insightful question. I don't know how on earth you would know that. I am. I've got like the most hectic red light bed in my room.
It's aggressive.
Literally, we are probably 60 meters away from my bedroom. If I turned it on, you'd be able to see it. And it's not even on the same floor. Like, it's so bright. But yeah, I am using it. I'll cover that in more detail soon. Do I think it's a pinnacle of recovery that everyone needs? Absolutely not. But research has been really good. I had someone reach out to me about it. And as per usual, I said, let me do research. If the research checks, then I'll try it and see how I feel. And surprisingly, the research checked. It's one of these moments where for a long time, I was sort of like, just no, like you just don't need it. It's not beneficial. It's not helpful. But I'm changing my tune. And I think it's something that's really important that seems to be lost on most people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with changing your opinion on something. In fact, that's sort of the marker of personal growth. If you ask yourself, what do you believe today that you didn't believe 5 years ago, and you can't come up with anything, then like you're no smarter today than you were 5 years ago. In which case, what are you doing? Like, let's keep pushing forward in some way. So it's been really good for me. It's been a revelation, really interesting. The one I have in particular, it's the only one in the world that can penetrate your skull. And so partially thinking about systemic fatigue and sympathetic fatigue, and if it can have positive effects on the brain. Also from a mental health perspective, I think it can be, I think there's phenomenal applications. The research around prevention of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and treatment of those conditions is phenomenal. So on a lot of fronts, I find it really interesting. It's definitely not something I say, you need this before you sleep well, eat well, train hard. But it is something that's piqued my interest right now. All right, 3:15. Prepare to be amazed. Too light. Is there a heavier weight? Probably. All right, we'll go to 395. It's fun adopting little like techniques over time, just like logistically. Like I would struggle so much to get the plates on the bar when I first had this setup, and now I've learned that like lift with your shoulder, hug the plate onto the bar, and when it doesn't fit, I'll put the hole right above the bar, and then I know if I just pull and lift up, go straight on. Easy peasy. What else we got, Leash?
So Ben just wrote, are you picking up big laws from the airport? Looking forward to the content with you guys.
I am. I'm picking him up. He lands in about 2.5 hours, and I'm about an hour away from the airport. So it'll be basically off this live stream and straight over to get Boss Man, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be good to have him here. And oh my God, the amount of whinging by Liz. Get off it, dude. Get off it. I'm stealing your husband. Deal with it. You'll cope. Maybe they'll grow a greater appreciation for each other.
Perhaps.
If they're separated for 3 weeks and how sad that is. I told Laz, I might make a short with him about this. basically I was talking to him about like no women for 3 weeks. It's tough. I said, I have lined up this black girl for you. And Liz is like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, she's a bit loud, but like gorgeous eyes. You'll love her. And it's my schnauzer. She's so precious. Oh. All right, 395, just shy of 180 kilos.
We have a super chat here from Dalton. With Laws being with you, can we expect some Moose cameos on the Sunday live streams? You'd make an excellent addition.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see on the time, because every Sunday I have dinner with my family, and that's really, really important to me. So I won't sacrifice that. Like my sister, her husband, my mom, my stepdad, Ash, Peyton. So if they conflict, then no. But hopefully I can talk to them, because I'd be more than happy to pop on for sure. You'll see plenty of us on each other's stuff, I think, is the take home. You'll see plenty of me, plenty of him, and us interacting. It'd be nice to have him here. I was trying not to travel for the last few weeks into World's Strongest Man, but I got to go to Vegas. So Laws and I are going to Vegas next Monday. 6 days. 6 days from now. And we'll be there for 2 or 3. So a little pop out to Vegas in the interim. Yesterday I had such a killer session. I had 3x3 squats at 280 kilos. Not too bad for me, not that hard. Then I had one set of 10 at 260 kilos, which after 3x3 at 280, that was kind of hard. These are the first squats to depth that I've done, in some people's opinion, in years, but in months. So like my legs are already burning up. But then I was doing a bunch of sandbag medleys, like heavy and hard and long, like literally 1 minute efforts of sprinting, 145 kilo sandbag back and forth. And it's been a long time since I've vomited from exercise, and I didn't, but I was damn close. The program that Laws has written for me, I'll put this out there. The program that Laws has written for me, if I hit the numbers in the program, I will win World's Strongest Man, and it will not be close. It is, when I look at the program, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I know I can do it. But if I do it, if I actually do it, and no injuries, no nothing, it will have to be the best shape that I'm ever in. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. So I very much look forward to being in that shape, although it's very uncomfortable to get there. As all of you guys would know, well, I'm sure most of you would know, it's incredibly uncomfortable to change your body, because your body's job is to not change and to stay the exact same.
So after seeing the World's Strongest Man finals event, who do you think has the best chance to contest you the most?
Tom is the easy choice, but they're not particularly good events for him. I don't know. Like, I can... if someone turns up in really good shape, there are many guys who can test for the title, 100%. I'm not saying no one can, but on paper, it's hard to pick someone. When you guys see the events, you will see them and go, right. Because at the moment, and by the way, I'm just looking up, or I'm just calculating the weight. At the moment, it's not as important what the events are for me. It's how do they line up for other people? Because I'm fine with anything. And so if every other guy has one or two weaknesses in there, it's sort of just hard. It's who can really overcome their weaknesses. And from my assessment, there's two major weaknesses for Tom in the final out of 5 events. Is it possible that he picks them up? Absolutely. Could he win the events? Sure. It's Tom Stoltman. Absolutely he could. But on paper, it's going to be a challenge, I think. But there's also, like, I thought last year I was going to win, and my hands ripped up. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that good. Time will tell. All right, we're 197 kilos here, 435 pounds. I'm going to go heavier, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to 220. And I've got 3x1, so I'll probably go 220, see how it feels, maybe 230, see how it feels, maybe 240.
Cool.
We'll see. It's hard today, though, after all of those squats and dying 18 hours ago. Be like, yeah, right. Heavy jerks. Fun. So fun. Easy work.
All right, this one's from Caribou. Thoughts on kids' strength training based on your formal education? I starting strength with my 9-year-old daughter yesterday, and she had a blast.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it is a yes, as early as the kid will pay attention and listen and follow instruction. The largest risk of a kid lifting weights is, in my opinion, more to do with them just, I don't know, like, say you're dumbbell pressing and you go to drop the weights and, like, they're standing right there and they put their foot there. It's not that they're going to destroy their body from their lifting. It's mostly just like logistics and kids and heavy stuff being around kids. But there's nothing about weightlifting that's dangerous for children. And honestly, yeah, teach them form, great. Also understand that you're not going to get a huge degree of physiological adaptation until around 14, 15 for boys, around 12 years old for girls. But that being said, technique is great. Focusing on, like, positive relationship with the gym, spending some quality time with your kids, especially if you find it hard to fit the gym into your day. If you can integrate them into that, then phenomenal. And you could enroll them in any sport, and they could do that, whatever. But once they're out of high school, unless they play in college, and if they do after college, what are they going to do for their exercise? Like, ultimately, you have to end up back in the gym, or you could go run or bike or whatever. But it's a core part of just living a healthy lifestyle. And the earlier you can expose your kids to that, the better off you are. And that's a big reason I have this, because I like going to the gym. I don't have a problem driving there, whatever. It's nice to have this setup, particularly for this and for work, and just like seamless. But a large factor was if my children are in this house and they see this space dedicated to exercise from day one, and they see me down here training, how do they not consider that a normal part of life? So I think we should expose kids to it early, show them that it is a normal part of life and should be a normal part of life. So yeah, 9-year-old daughter, go for your life, as long as she's a good listener. This lift is so different with adrenaline on comp day. Like, I can do roughly the same, but when I pick this up, it kind of feels like, it's a bit heavy. Like there's kind of something there. But on comp day, I remember picking it up off the racks and I'm like, it might as well have been empty. Like, it felt like there was nothing on my shoulders. By the way, new black Lift Heavy Be Kind t-shirts. You can go ahead and check them out at lhbk.shop. We are working on, there's no tariffs right now for Canada in our industry. So that's really good. But we're working on future-proofing ourselves against them and having US distribution, which means that very soon we're going to be able to offer free shipping in the US and free shipping in Canada, which is very exciting. We don't do the drop shipping stuff. Everything is here in the office, shipped out by us, controlled by us, responded to by us. I find it important from a lot of different perspectives: quality control, customer service, but also creating jobs for people, like actually creating jobs and not just machine printing something for 20% more profit or 10% more profit than you might get doing it the traditional way. I like having the control. All right, this is 220 kilos. And hopefully it goes well. Wish me luck. All right, aggressive. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. We got to move this. That was good though. My back foot stepping through got caught on something. I think it was on this. So a bit of unlocking there, which is what I'm trying to cure. And it's definitely getting better over time. But yeah, brought on, bringing foot through. This block is a bit raised up. So as soon as you fall off balance, that's when arms start doing their wobbles. But 220 after a major random squat day. Up we go.
So this one here is from Chris. What do you think sets you apart from other strongmen? Conditioning, intensity, consistency? What do you think?
I think I like the process more than anyone else. I think if you looked at other guys 1 week after the Arnold, let's say 3 days after the Arnold, what are you doing? What does your life look like? And I bet there's a lot of hanging out. I bet there's a lot of quote unquote recuperating and resetting and whatever. I don't need it. I love it. I want to come back. I want to start training again. Competing is just something that I do because I can. And it's a secondary to me over like the training to be better. Where I think some people get really hung up on the element of positive results and winning shows. And it's just not how I'm wired. I just like to come into the gym. I like to train. That to me is far and away the biggest advantage. There are other things like my athletic background. I read the rules. Some guys don't even read the rules. Basic stuff, like on this drag at the Arnold, Lucas Hatton and I were the only ones to go like test our shoes out on the surface and see what it was like. Why would you not do that? It's just such common sense to me. Yeah, I take care of details and I love to train. I think it's honestly as simple as that. There's no magic. There's no mystery. That's that. Oh, missed it. Gonna go to 230 now.
So Avery's wondering, how do I improve my lockout on log and other overhead implements?
There's a variety of answers. The question is a bit non-specific. It could be tricep strength. It could be a mobility problem. So really, really hard to give just a blanket advice for that one. But work on your triceps, work on your mobility. Ultimately, when you get up to maximum, something has to go. So potentially it's just get stronger and continue being patient. It's not always that one thing is the thing that needs to improve. Let's say Lucas Hatton, for example, probably the best presser in the world right now. It's hard to argue otherwise. He describes his pressing as I press with my legs. So he actually doesn't even work on his tricep strength or strict pressing or nothing like that. He works on his leg power to drive the weight up. And then if he can't get it to lockout, presumably he'll fail. And you can say, oh, well, I need to work on tricep strength. Well, you could easily counter that and say, I would need my triceps to be 8% stronger to lock that weight out, or I need my legs to be 2% more powerful. Well, I know which one I would rather do. So it's not as cut and dry as some people make it out to be, but that's the closest thing to an answer that I can give. If I could hit this weight today with how my legs are feeling, and after the session yesterday, that would be major, major, major. I'm going to put on some knee sleeves.
All right, so this one's from Stan. Longevity of careers is increasing with how athletes are able to take care of their bodies nowadays. LeBron, Tom Brady, etc. Are strongmen able to stay in their prime at the same rate as other sports?
You can point to examples that say yes and examples that say no. Brian Shaw, he's around for a couple of decades. So in that case, yes. In other cases, you'll have guys burn out with injuries. And we don't have the resources that LeBron James has. And the demands of strongman are much greater on the body than the demands of basketball. If you can sort of oversimplify, the more skill that's required in a sport, the longer you're going to be able to do it. The more physical demand, the shorter you're going to be able to do it. So, strongman is technical, sure, but it's technical on a foundation of strength. So, it's more of a physical thing than a skill thing On the other end, archery. You can do archery forever. Basketball, halfway in between. Big physical demand, but big technical demand. So if you were to watch LeBron James play, does he have to physically go all out very often? Not really. Like early in his career, he'd be more athletic and more physically dominant. And later in his career, he's very tactful. He knows where the play is going, and he's smarter about things. So you can be just as good, have the same stats, but shift sort of your area of expertise, if you will. Say like a Nikola Jokic, the best basketball player in the world right now. He physically is not impressive. He can't run fast or jump high, or he's 7 feet, and I'm not sure he can dunk. But he always knows the right thing to do with the ball. So that style of play, you could do it forever. Zion Williamson, unbelievable athlete, but clearly is running into problems relying on athleticism. And you can repeat that with a lot of sports. Hockey, Ovechkin just broke Gretzky's goal record. His career is nearing 20 years now. He would have had to shift to more of a skill-based approach than a physical quality-based approach. On and on. So the thing in strongman, you can't just take a skill approach. You always have to be at the peak of strength. And, there's a lot of things we can do to lengthen our careers. And one of those things is compete less often. Something that anyone who follows me knows that I'm not particularly interested in. And I'm not particularly interested in being around for 20 years. I don't think. So, yeah, long-winded answer, but. All right, 2:30. Come on. Big pop. Come on. Boom! Fuck yeah. No problem. That was easier than 220. Sorry about the cursing on the family channel. I have a very strange thing about me that I think is a major benefit, but it's also quite jarring and shocking to some people, because I and Leash can testify. Day to day, it's very hard for me to get worked up about anything.
Yeah.
But if I do, it will be a brief moment of the most worked up outburst. And then 10 seconds later, it is literally done, over with. I don't think about it again. But as a big guy who's very calm all the time, I've run into things where it's so off-putting for people and so jarring that they're like, They think it's something major, but it's actually not. It's just like a thing. And I think that same thing is how I can go from just like smiling, happy-go-lucky to max deadlift. Just like a switch can flip. And that, of course, has gone poorly a number of times in the past, but I think I mostly have it under control now. This is going to be a home run swing. It's going to be a 240, 243-ish. I'll give them the exact weight. But I just have these 15s to throw on. I don't have 5-pound plates in my gym because I don't think they should exist. I think they're fake. The smallest increment is 10.
The chat is popping off with Strongest Man on Earth events being out now.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. I guess they were just posted.
The August competition is out before the fucking the May competition. What a joke. All right, see what we got.
Yeah.
Oh, here they are. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, max log. Keg toss for max weight. Frame into arm over arm. Back to that one. Manhood stones, great. Giant trap bar, deadlift for max. Oh, Brian, why, dude? Safe carry, so a yoke. Love your work. Back to the standing chest press. Tire, no. Tire flip into power stairs. Why tire flip? At the end of a big show, I think that's a terrible decision. All right, let's evaluate on how survivable this is. Max log is okay. I don't really have a problem with that. It's not too taxing. Max weight keg toss. Okay, frame into arm over arm, that's okay. Manhood stones, okay. The trap bar deadlift for max, that is going to be, like, we are stronger than, I'm honestly going to have to start preparing for that as soon as World's Strongest Man ends, because that'll be over 500 kilos, almost for sure. Like, I can guarantee it over 500 kilos. And just that loading on your spine is a lot. Because think of it more like a partial squat than a deadlift. So that's going to be really hard. Safe carry is a rest event for me. Chest press, I think we had 3 torn pecs on that last time. And tire flip, okay. Let's see. I'll give my assessments of myself. Max log, I would love to hit 220. And 220 would tie me for first. So I think I could tie for first in that. Keg toss for max weight, I actually don't know. I don't know how good I would be at that. But given that I was top 3, I've set a world record in the keg toss. I assume let's go top 3. Frame into arm over arm. My arm over arm is getting really good. I was second to Thor on that. My frame carry is great. So we're going to go top 2. Manhood. I think I can do the 600 stone. I think I could. And if we're talking about the events before, max log, max keg, frame carry, it's not going to be that taxing that it's impossible. So it could be on the cards. Giant trap bar deadlift for max. Either me or Lucas Hatton will win that event because it's a squat. It's not a deadlift. And we'll have to see the rules if you have straps or not. If it's not straps, it's just a pure max grip event, which is possible, and prepare for my hands to be absolutely destroyed. Interesting. Safe carry, I will win that. Standing chest press, work to do. I should start training for that sooner than later. Tire flip into power stairs, top 3. They're all good events for me. I think major competition, Thor with the chest press will be tough, and with the max log will be tough. Tom, his max log is good. Keg toss is good. Frame into arm over arm is good. Stones are great. Trap bar deadlift for max. He doesn't have the strongest legs. He'll lose some there. His yoke isn't great. His chest press is, from what I've seen, okay. So I think he'll lose a few there. Yeah. Top of my head, I think I'm going in as a favorite, but I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Crossed 300,000 followers on Instagram. How cool is that? Lots of nice comments on the post about the new little one. Very sweet. It means a lot when, Sinead posted Tom's wife, congratulations. That stuff genuinely means a lot to me, because it's people who, they have sort of, I don't know how to put it, but I wouldn't hold it against someone if they sort of were cheering against you. Of course, in the shows, like, granted, you should be cheering against the other person. And like the whole strongman thing of like everyone cheers for everyone. Yes, the guys do. Our families do not. Our families absolutely do not, because they have a horse in the race and they're really excited. And that's normal sport. And I think we gotta appreciate that a bit. Like, you would never go to a hockey game and go like, I hope the other team just plays really well. Like, no, I hope they suck and I hope we win by a lot. But it would be easy for that to bleed into life and kind of wishing bad on people in life, or at least not wishing them well and not going out of your way. So it does mean a lot when competitors and family of competitors, especially ones you go head to head with often, when they comment. Kelsey commented as well, Thor's wife. So fortunate to be a part of the community. And oh, God, that's heavy. Over time, I've shrunken the circle of people by which I care about in the strongman space. And so there's a small handful of people who I'm like, that's a good person who I'm definitely going to take what they say on board. But anyway, rambling. Laws lands in 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I have to leave in about an hour. I have one jerk left. This is going to be 243 kilos-ish. Let me get the... By the way, I'm not procrastinating. This is normal rest times. What are people saying about the events? Let's see.
So we had a super chat from Brian. How do you feel about the tire flip power stairs? Strongest man on earth. I know we kind of...
Brian who?
Brian Riley.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I feel about the tire flip?
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Mm-hmm. Especially at the end of such a difficult show. I think it's completely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan's wondering, is there anything from your No Stone Unturned series that you began to implement into your routine?
Sort of, but like not a good thing. I smoke weed a lot now. Well, not a lot. I would say 4 out of 7 nights a week, I use it to help me go to sleep. As you guys would know, I live a very stressful life. I have such a difficult time shutting my brain off. I don't think I would sleep half the nights if I didn't. So that's one thing. It obviously hasn't hindered performance. I don't think it's hindered much of anything. But something I don't like about myself at the moment. Other things. I'm trying to think of the other episodes. A lot of stuff I was already doing. So like peptides was one of them. I'm still taking my peptides, which, by the way, I've gotten full clearance finally to tell you what peptides I take. And I'm excited to do that in an upcoming YouTube video. What else? Supplements was another one. Nutrition's another one. Of course, I'm still eating food and I'm still taking supplements. Physiotherapy, I don't go to on a regular basis, but I go when I need to. Yeah. So nothing that I'm actually probably more now bringing on more things than I did from No Stone Unturned. I genuinely did everything I said I was doing in No Stone Unturned, but I've sort of broadened it a bit. And now I do the red light. I do massage every day, but with a Theragun. But that's part of my daily routine. I do more mobility now than I used to do. Yeah, the active recovery, I still make a concerted effort. Just sometimes life gets away from me and I don't walk as much as I should, but I still think that's really important. So, yeah. All right, it's 243 kilos. So this will be a PB.
And then what is your PR and overhead press currently?
Oh, there we go. Split jerk. 240 kilos, maybe 242. Overhead press from a front rack. I've push pressed 215 kilos, so 470-ish. Pounds, this is 535 pounds. This could be the same that I did at the Arnold. I'm not sure. It's very close. But of course, non-competition circumstances and environment, a very different story. Of course, I thrive when I have actual competition going on. I wonder if the max log at the shop, they'll do a rising bar or select your own attempts. And I wonder if they'll use the logs they normally do. The logs they normally do are tough. They're something about them messes everyone up. Okay, come on. I should get a bar brush and get the chalk off of this thing. All right. Sore legs, 243. Winning lift at World's Strongest Man. Okay, come on. Make it pop, come on. I spun. I got the spins. It's there. It's absolutely there today. That is a massive win. I started passing out. Otherwise, I had it. I 100% had that. Can I watch it back?
Yeah.
It was so close. I just had to rush the step through because I started losing my vision. It's so good. And it really didn't feel too heavy on my back either. That was honestly, other than a little bit of lightheadedness, that is as good as today could have gone. That was so good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could be stiffer at the top for sure. Yeah, a bit out in front of me, but all in all, really not bad. I can't be upset with that. Yeah, because my arms were stiff, and then I had to like rush my front foot back and try to get quick into position. That's so good. Amazing. All right, gonna unload a bit. I've got a strict press. I believe sets of 5, RP might be 9. So I'm gonna walk it down to 315 and see what I can do. Can I get your assistance? Yeah. Up to the 315. Up to 315. The black plates. All the colors off. What a good day. Honestly, I would say down here, the most I've ever hit is 230 kilos. So to be that close. In fact, actually, I hit a PB today then. A basement PB. Or like a gym PB altogether. Oh. But to have the evidence that that's heavy. Do one at a time. Yep. Evidence to be 10 kilos ahead. 6 weeks out on crappy legs. 7 weeks out maybe. Life is good. I think it's a really important skill to learn. Of like, you can take great things away and you can be really happy when you miss a rep. Just depends how you miss it. If that happened at World's Strongest Man, lightheadedness, I would push it to the limit. I would collapse under the weight before I rushed it.
So we have a super chat comment here from Pingus. Hit PB on deadlift, 505 pounds, bench 345 pounds, squat 425, and overhead press 235, all in the last month, thanks to your content motivating me. Lift heavy, be kind.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Well, congratulations on the PRs. There's honestly, I sell programs, I sell education, all to help you guys out. I give lots of free stuff away as well, from YouTube to free programs online and stuff like that. There are so many ways to skin a cat. The important thing is that you're motivated, you're dedicated, you work hard. If you do those things, you're going to get good results for quite a long time. So I'm happy that you've done well with that. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to unrack this bar to get into a push press or a strict press position. Oh, that was awkward. All right. That's heavy enough.
We've had a couple questions on this. Did you happen to see Lucas doing pause reps on the jerk? Any benefit to you doing those?
Okay. Lucas is at a technically much greater level than I am. So he's working on the power out of the hole. I need all the practice I can get on how to work with a whippy bar. So it would be a disservice to me because I would start ingraining the wrong thing. You need to get a certain level of movement proficiency before movement variation is useful. Movement variation would confuse my body right now. And I would get into the hole and kind of think like, I would lose a bit of that like aggressive drive. And with a whippy bar, your speed of transition is so important. You hit it too fast and the bar is sagging while you're trying to lift up. And if you do it too slow, you lose the effect of the whip altogether. So yeah, good for him, not good for me. All right, 1 set of 5, RP 9. All right. I don't know if this would be RP 9, but it's always hard after like an exerting power exercise to see what strength you have left over. Do you remember the session leading into the Arnold split jerks where I failed 205 like 6 times? That was not a good day. But I'm just going to take my mic off just for fear that it's going to hit it. Maybe a back rocket, push press to the front. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It's just a bit safer. by the time rolls around, that's 144 kilo, 350 pounds. By the time rolls around, I should be somewhere around 165 for a set of 5 after split jerks. But all in good time. All right.
And you still have your mic if you want to put it back on.
Thank you. Next up, standing, alternating dumbbell press, 3 by 10. I haven't had that before. I would assume it's just, must be. This is cool, actually, for people to see. Even at the professional top level, we still look at our program and go like, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And guess what? It doesn't matter. It's fine. I have no idea what weight to do for this. Maybe 80 pounds? What's right? It's 3 by 10. It's a lot of reps.
And then a quick super chat here from Tingus. What's the benefits of a soft belt under latch belt?
The hard belt, first of all, I find it really abrasive and uncomfortable. So for one, it's just a big layer of comfort. 2, the soft belt disperses the area by which the hard belt works. So instead of having the 4 inches or whatever the hard belt is, and that's your core support, it expands that to be 7 inches or so. You also can wear it by itself if you're doing moving events and you want a little bit of support without losing your breath and without having that stiffness. So a lot of utility. You'll notice very few strongmen wear their hard belt without a soft belt because it's just really obvious advantage. All right, let's do this. That feels okay. I'm going to go relatively short rest times here. Building work capacity for Worlds is such a big component of what you have to do to prep well, especially this year, 4 days in a row. You could say, why would you squat for reps the day before you split jerk? Why not be fresher tomorrow? Well, I don't have that luxury in competition, so why would I train that way? I'll prepare myself, even if that means I'm not going to hit PBs in the gym, even though I kind of did today. Oh, it was so close. So annoying.
Super chat here from Crush Equity. How much forward bend is okay with wide stance squats?
It's really dependent on your length of the femur. What I would say is it's more important that the bar stays over your midfoot than any sort of movement pattern you adopt. The more lean forward you are, the more posterior chain it's going to be, which is fine. The more upright you are, the more ankle mobility and quads it's going to be, which is fine. It just depends on you. But don't be afraid to lean over during a squat. It's fine. You look at world champions, some of them perfectly upright, some of them very leaned over. Really just depends. All right, set 2. I also feel like this room is preparing me for Sacramento, the heat.
Yeah, it is hot.
Oh, triceps are burning out. Come on. Sixty seconds rest.
Do lifters have an essential effect on your overhead lifts compared to regular shoes or flat bottom shoes?
I find yes. I think they're really important. It allows you to dip longer while keeping your torso upright, which if your torso leans forward, the bar is going to travel forward, particularly in front racked things. I think I could get away split jerking in flats. But two things it provides. Elevated heel requires less range of motion of the ankle to stay upright when you dip. Two, a very firm bottom allows you to transfer all of the force down into the ground, where, say, a normal running shoe, as you push, the running shoe will compress. So you're losing. It's a big force dissipator that you want to avoid. All right, last set. Whew. 30 reps per hour. It's too much. Wrong sport laws. I'm going to shift over and use some cables. Is that good?
Yep. And then we just had a super chat come in from Alex. He just wanted to say that he got third in his first novice comp back in February. He was the lightest novice by 60 pounds. It was an amazing experience, wonderful people, and he's very excited for his second comp on the 19th.
I had a boy.
Yeah.
Good work. That's phenomenal. Now, if you start eating your breakfast, imagine how much stronger you'd be. Off to the moon. Bastard Thomas Inch dumbbell. All right, let's see what we got. Oh man, so much work. Like prepping for the Arnold, I love, because it's just low volume, super heavy. Just do 5 reps for your workout and you're good to go. This is a bit different. All right, 3x15 side raises, 3x15 rear delts. I've got all the stuff to organize properly in here. I don't have all of the stuff to, I don't have it all put up yet, which I should absolutely work on.
We have a comment here from Luke. Thanks for helping me train for the ESM win, Mitchell.
The old tandem squat. No problem. Huge. I was so happy for Luke. And it's so nice because of course, he was with me for a week. So that Sunday dinner I talked about, he came to that, met my family. He was at Peyton Spur's birthday, so like all extended friends and family were there as well. And none of them care about strongman. They just care about it because I'm in it. But then it was really nice for me to see, now that they met Luke, and Luke is an extension, not an extension of me. Luke is someone who they've grown to like as well. At Europe's Strongest Man, my whole family was watching, cheering for Luke. And it was cool because it gave me an outside look at what it's kind of like for me when I'm competing and everyone's at home. So, yeah, it was really nice. And executed really well, mate. Very well-deserved victory, as we've already spoke about. Just stay out of my group. I don't want to work hard. Actually, I was saying that I never want someone I'm friends with to be in my group. And not like friendly with, I'm friendly with too many guys to avoid them, but friends. Because you're like, I don't want to take opportunities away from friends. And like genuinely, if Luke rocks up at Worlds this year, he wins, I came second. But I'm over the moon. I'm so happy for him. And winning Europe's means that he will be a seed, one seed, meaning he's going to have a much easier path to the finals. And I don't need to worry about him. Of course, until the finals. In which case, I will absolutely fuck you up.
He said he wants your group for the deals.
There are lots of deals to be had for me. I was thinking about that. Like, imagine the last event I don't have to do, and say it's like a log press for reps. But if I did 4, that would mean Luke got into the finals. I would do it. I would absolutely do it. And I'd make a big enemy in the interim, which, if anyone knows me well, I don't care. But it would kind of be funny. If Luke is in here, I'd be very interested to know, would you accept a Strongest Man on Earth invite? Oh man, Luke on a max trap bar deadlift. Like partial squat. Oh my God, if we strap that, 600 kilos or more for Luke, it would be off of the charts. He would be unbelievable. That would be fun to see. Although, full disclosure, if I was Luke, I would not accept the Strongest Man on Earth invite. If I is me, which I am, I struggle to accept the Strongest Man on Earth invite. But I genuinely think that show, to me, there are 2 world titles right now, Strongest Man on Earth and World's Strongest Man. And with how things are with World's Strongest Man, I don't know if I can go there another year. This might be my last year ever competing at World's Strongest Man. Because things that I'll talk about later when I'm done my career, or if I choose not to compete, things that you guys would not believe with the treatment of athletes, the disrespect that's shown to us, the disrespect that's shown to the fans. It's just, I don't understand how I could continue to be a part of it if I'm in the position where I don't need the money. Because it's just, I don't really respect them anymore. And I don't really want to work with people I don't respect. And if I wasn't there and Thor wasn't there, how is that a world title? And the difference between me and other people, if I see something wrong, one, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to say something. And two, like, I'm not afraid to take action. I'm not afraid to take a stand about something if I believe it's right, which in this case, I don't even think it's on the margin.
Luke said it would be event depending, bring back leg press. So I'm not sure if he's going to look up the events now.
Go look at them, mate. They're posted. But put it this way. World's Strongest Man. This year, they're trying to make it so that if a family of 4 wants to go watch their athlete compete, it would cost them about $1,600 for the family of the competitor to compete, to watch your family member compete. Fastest way to piss me off. Yeah, that, and tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. The people who make you your money, you can't even let their family watch for free. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. And all of you coming to World's Strongest Man who are buying tickets, year 2 of ticket sales, they have not increased the prize money at all in the past 3 years that I've been competing there. So they're now the 4th highest paying show. And the money that you're spending on tickets is not going to the athletes in any way. And over time, just watch. What sponsors are involved over the long run? Just watch. There's less this year than last year. That's the direction it'll keep going because they're impossible to work with. And the show just doesn't return money because, in my opinion, they just do a bad job. But anyway, I've said too much. I'm just over it. I'm so over it. That being said, I still think it's the most important title to win. I will not deny that. They have the best title, the one that everyone knows, the one that everyone asks about, the one that every competitor wants to win. But in 10 years' time, if I meet 2 pro strongmen, one that has won the Strongest Man on Earth and one that has won the World's Strongest Man, I would have more athletic respect for winning Strongest Man on Earth. That show is brutal. All right, well, last set here, and then I am out, which is probably good timing, so I stop talking. Lise, this is your job. Just shut me up. Oh, God.
And then we have one last super chat here.
Yeah.
Can you convince Thor to go to Giants to deadlift, to leave the beef behind and get on top? By the way, one day I will compete with you. Hello from Eastern Europe.
Hello. I hope you compete with me as well. Can I convince Thor? No. I don't endeavor to. He feels disrespected. I don't know what happened exactly. I know both sides of the story. I don't care. It's not my business. If you feel slighted by someone and you've taken a personal stand to say, I will not accept that treatment, there's nothing that should then make you accept that treatment. He said, I believe it's if the documentary put out with Giants and Eddie, if that's taken down, and if there's an apology, he'll come compete. So the ball is not in his court. So it's 2 camps that seem to be equally stubborn, and it's costing both of them a lot of money. I understand Thor's principle, like stand on principle for sure. I love the guys at Giants. I've got no problem with Eddie, but I struggle to understand. Oh, no. I got it now. I know. Give me a second. I remember. Because there is an impasse that's just, it's impossible to break. So Thor wants an apology and the video taken down, the documentary. The challenge is Eddie's the one who put the documentary up. So Eddie would have to take the documentary down, and there would have to be an apology. Eddie has no incentive to do that. In fact, the opposite. They both have incentive to continue beefing with each other because it's profitable. So that's the way the world works, unfortunately. I need to start some of my own beef. I kind of already have. I just don't care to give it enough energy to turn it into money. Ooh. Onwards and upwards. I now have 2 baby girls to worry about, not whoever else the fuck wants to bother me. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Bit of a rant towards the end. Phenomenal training session. I'm really happy. Lots of volume today. I've got to do some throwing outside. Obviously, you can't join me for that. So, as per usual, lift heavy, be kind. Please like the video. Let's get it out to some more people. Helps me, helps the channel grow, and ultimately makes me happy. As per usual, lift heavy, be kind. We'll catch you on Friday in the next live stream.